Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to my channel. My name is Estiana, and I am a Potsy, and here to catalog my journey into running. For those of you that did not have an opportunity to watch my first video, I will link it down below. And so just to give you a quick recap, this channel is going to be heavily focusing on my health and fitness journey, mainly my running journey. And today's video is going to be a glimpse into my first Heart Zone run experience and how that went for me. Like I said, it's really going to be like a diary and cataloging of how I'm feeling during my run, you know, the mental challenges that I'm going through and emotional challenges that I'm going through while running. And so I wanted to keep it real. I wanted to keep it 100 with you guys as far as like what it's like, especially for someone who has POTS. For those that might not know, POTS is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So it's pretty much our bodies, it's an autoimmune disease where our bodies are unable to really self-regulate, and we struggle with heart rate spikes and blood pressure bottoms out and passing out. There's a whole bunch of things that go along with POTS and different things that prevent us from, a lot of people with POTS, from even holding normal jobs. Like I said, now I'm on this side of my journey in POTS and in my life with POTS, where I'm at a place where I'm really focusing on achieving a certain level of health and fitness, but doing it the smart way. I am doing my first Heart Zone training run after 4 weeks of training. And it's very, very hard, for the simple fact that as a Potsy, my heart rate spikes very easily. And so I have been walking for the last 6 minutes, and I have yet to be able to get my heart rate down below 120. My Garmin keeps going off at me and yelling at me about the fact that my heart rate is too high. I'm trying to think positively. I'm trying to just focus on my breathing, focus on not necessarily the distance, but focus on the task at hand, and just using this as my starting point. This is my first run at Heart Zone training, and what I have, I'm doing 2 minutes of running and 8 minutes of walking. And so my 2 minutes of running has turned into 2 minutes of power walking. I can't seem to be able to run because when I do, my heart rate gets out of zone 2. I'm just gonna stop and hope that I can lower my heart rate a little bit more, so that when I do start power walking, I won't get yelled at. So just, this is what it means to do Heart Zone training, and I know that eventually it'll pay off, but it's very frustrating in the meantime. So I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. What I actually had coming up was the cool down, not another lap of running. Pretty disappointed, only because my execution on the Garmin was 19% execution. But I'm trying to just think long term, in the sense that this is my baseline, this is where I'm starting. And so I know that it's going to be difficult, and I know that there's athletes who struggle with Heart Zone running and training and slow running. So all the progress I've made over the last 4 weeks of running and working myself up to being able to run for 2 minutes straight now has to kind of take a back burner while I learn to slow run. I will say positive is that I'm not gassed like I typically am after a run. I do feel really good energy-wise. I'm still sweating bullets like I typically do. But I do feel like if I had to go for another 3 laps, I could. And I know that that's one of the things that you're supposed to achieve when doing a slow run, is the ability to feel like you can continue doing it and not feel gassed after completing a workout. So I'm trying to think of that as, you know, a positive in this experience. It was definitely mentally challenging. I had to stop along the way quite a few times just to be able to get my heart rate down. Just means I have a lot of work to do, but I'm in this for the long haul. I've always wanted to run. I've never been able to run. And so I know that the only way to achieve it is through training, dedication, and showing up for myself. This is my first run by myself as well. I am proud of myself for not giving up and not throwing in the towel when it got too hard. I'm also proud of myself for not throwing out the heart zone training and just running, because if there is one thing about me, when I do something, I go all in and I go hard. And so part of this is definitely a mental challenge in the sense that I'm trying not to do that, because when I do that, I usually take myself out of the race for a very long time. And that's kind of been my struggle with my health and fitness journey over the last several years, especially as a potsy, is I go really, really hard and then I just push my body to the max. And then it takes me a very long time to recover. So I'm trying to look at this as a way to teach my body to regulate and be patient with my body, to allow it to regulate and to allow it to build up the strength that it needs to be able to do this long term. So that is where I'm at. I know that if I keep this up, and I know that if I stick to the program and I just give my body the grace that it needs, I will eventually become better at this. So I am wrapping up my second heart zone run, and it's going a little bit better than the first time, but it's still been pretty difficult. I really got to focus on walking and just taking my time, power walking through the running sessions, and eventually I'll be able to run. So that's the report out for today. Just got to keep going. It is Wednesday, day 2. We're making progress, just 1% progress. It was 57% today, so I'm very happy about that. Happy Saturday. I am here on my 3rd run for week 1 of heart zone training. My husband and I just split because he had to head out, so he joined me for about half of the run, and I am proceeding with the second half by myself. But I appreciate him coming out and doing this with me. So what I'm trying to gauge and trying to humble myself is to speed walk. I just did 2 runs and I went out of range again. So what I think what I'm gonna do with the second round is, or this 3rd round, is just speed walk it and see if I can stay within range, and then just adjust from there. So I will keep you guys posted once we're done with this run today. Beautiful trail, got my puppers with me. So here we go. Alrighty, so I'm in recovery of lap 6, and good news is I only got yelled at once, and I was able to very quickly come right back down into the appropriate heart zone. And my fastest mile on record is, like I said, low 15s. So with heart zone training, I haven't been able to get under 18 minutes, and today it was like 17:28, I think it was. So
it's just showing progress even in just these 3 sessions. So I'm really happy about that. But we must continue on and keep going. Check in with you guys in a bit. I just did my first Heart Zone run session in the zone. Didn't get yelled at, so I think that's worth celebrating. Just means that when you listen to your body cooperates and you're in harmony. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Enjoying the beautiful walk / run when we can, and just going at a pace that works for me. So really excited about that. All right, so I'm back from my run, and I kind of wanted to capitalize on this thought before I forgot about it and wasn't in this feeling anymore. But I feel great after that run. Like, I'm not winded, I'm not exhausted, I just feel energized. And I don't know when the last time was that I actually felt that way after a workout and just like genuinely energized. Not like just a buzz because I finished a workout and then I'm gonna crash, but like I legit feel energized after that workout. So I'm really excited. I also had 87% execution on the Garmin, so that is awesome. And I'm just really excited to see the progress that can be made when you go at the pace that you're truly meant to go at and just enjoy the process and enjoy the journey. So I just wanted to touch on that. I am going to be wrapping this video up with just a summary of like kind of lessons I learned after this first week. So that will be the next thing you see me talk about. So I just watched that back, and let me just say that future Estiana is very proud of past Estiana, because I know that at any other stage in my life I would have given up. I would have either run too hard or I would have packed my stuff up and just left. And so I think it's so important to do this. And again, if no one ever watches these videos, if it's just me, like I am just so proud of the fact that I stuck with it for 30 minutes. I stuck with it, and I just said, you're going to take your breaks when you need to. You're going to slow walk when you need to. You're going to fast walk when you need to. And you're just going to give yourself time. And I think having done those first 4 weeks, sorry, I talk a lot with my hands. Having done those first 4 weeks where I was tracking my progress and I could see my progress, where I believe I started my 30-second on, 9.5 minute off. I think I completed my first mile in high 18s, and then by the time I finished my last run that I actually did, I was almost breaking into 14 minutes for a mile. And again, to some people that might be like super slow, like that's crazy. But for me, that was huge, because that first time I went for a run, that first mile that I didn't even complete my second mile in the 30 minutes that I gave myself. So that's another thing that I kind of wanted to say. Starting this journey off, I've allotted myself 30 minutes to run and walk for as much as I can. So I hadn't even been able to complete my second mile. So being at the end of week 4 and having my first mile at like 15:20 something, I think it was like 15:40 something, and then my second mile was like 15:20 something, and just seeing that progress, seeing myself shave off minutes just in a matter of 4 weeks, I know that this Heart Zone training is going to work, and I know that it's going to be better for me in the long haul. So for anyone who is in a position to start Heart Zone training, and you might not even be someone with POTS, you might just be a regular person who's never been able to run before, who never thought that they could run. If you're trying to learn something from this experience and from this video, and you're new to running, if you're, whatever the case might be, just start slow, focus on the basics. I promise you, you will see the progress over time. I know that it's possible because I saw my progress over 4 weeks. And so that is what I'm holding on to say right now it sucks. Right now you're not able to, do your full 2 minutes of running that you worked so hard to achieve, but you will get there eventually, and you will get there and you will do it right.
And future you is going to be thankful for past you. So, all that to say, I know this is a really long video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these videos. If you have not watched my first video, I encourage you to go back there and just watch the introduction. If you don't want to, that's totally fine too. I just appreciate you being here with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.